Bitcoin is the first ever decentralized global digital currency. Among other things, this means that it is entirely computerized and doesn't exist in a physical form. Bitcoin can be sent quickly and securely from any point in the world, and you only need an internet connection. Bitcoin's price is determined by the free market, subject to supply and demand. Built on a decentralized network, Bitcoin operates free of any central control, including but not limited to bank or government oversight. It relies on open source and peer-to-peer software and cryptography. Known as blockchain, this technology is also fully transparent and immutable. Any changes to it can only happen following a majority consensus. So, in this video, we will discuss Bitcoin cryptocurrency for beginners 2022. Hello, and welcome to the Crypto Wired YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for more informative and amazing videos. Let's get into it. Who invented Bitcoin? In 2008, during the global economic meltdown, also known as the subprime mortgage crisis, someone using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto decided that it was the right time for the very first decentralized currency. More than a decade later, this individual or a group of people remains unknown, but here are 5 interesting facts that you may not know about Satoshi Nakamoto. Although some people have since claimed to be Satoshi, none of them have provided sufficient proof of that. On October 31, 2008, the idea for Bitcoin was introduced with the release of a white paper. Titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, it was written by Satoshi Nakamoto. In the first couple of years, BTC had almost no monetary value. However, it propelled the creation of active and strong communities of people who would continuously work and improve the protocol. Back in 2010, Satoshi left the development of the cryptocurrency, with their last known communication being an email from April 2011. In the following years, the community became bigger and stronger as more and more improvements were made and new use cases for Bitcoin started to appear. Who controls Bitcoin? It was once the belief that a central entity, such as a major bank or a government, must stand behind a currency and work to guarantee the stability of the economy. Just a few decades ago, though, the so-called debt economy started to take shape, propelled by inefficient monetary policy. It's the era that we're in today, one where central banks can create money and print new bills from thin air without them having any backing from a tangible asset, such as gold. As seen in the years during the global COVID pandemic amidst 2020, the excessive printing of money in the trillions, while a short-term fix, creates major long-term issues. In May-April 2022, the Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers in the United States, a metric largely used to gauge the levels of inflation, clocked in at 8.3%, the highest it has been in over 40 years. This erodes the value of currency over time. Bitcoin, on the other hand, gives us complete control. It's governed by mathematics based on a transparent algorithm that's verifiably predictable and unfazed by human decisions. It gives us complete control over the money we hold. Behind the scenes, Bitcoin's blockchain. Bitcoin's protocol is built on distributed ledger technology, also commonly referred to as the blockchain. It represents a ledger of blocks, each consisting of all transactions in Bitcoin's history. This technology draws power from its nodes, computers that have installed Bitcoin software and are actively validating transactions and powering up the blockchain. They are scattered throughout the world, and anyone can create a node to help secure the network. This is the reason why Bitcoin is decentralized. There's no single entity, be it a bank, company, or government, can control the network or shut it down. Who is eligible to create a Bitcoin account? Unlike banks, anyone can create a Bitcoin wallet on their own. This brings many benefits, and perhaps the most important ones are accessibility and censorship resistance. You see, banks create policies and customers must oblige. If they fail to do so, the banks have the authority to shut down their accounts. They can also reverse or freeze transactions. This can't happen with Bitcoin. There's no central authority. Oh, and Bitcoin's network works 24/7, 365 days of a year. In terms of accessibility, Anyone in the world with access to the internet can obtain, send, store, and transact with Bitcoin and open a Bitcoin account. All they need to do is download a digital wallet app. Sending large amounts of BTC is a lot quicker and cheaper than sending fiat currency through traditional bank transfers. Bitcoin creation. What is Bitcoin mining? The process of making the functioning of the Bitcoin network possible also creates new coins. It's called Bitcoin mining, and it's the protocol's beating heart. When one wants to send another some BTC, he creates a transaction and signs it with his private key and broadcasts it to the network. This is where miners come into the place. Miners validate and verify transactions, put them into blocks, and add them to the public ledger. For their work, they receive a block reward and a mining fee. Here comes the beauty of Bitcoin's algorithm. The newly mined Bitcoins will never exceed 21 million. This is the total number of BTC that can ever be created. Until then, anyone can verify exactly how much BTC the miners receive. When was the first Bitcoin mined? The first Bitcoin was mined back on January 3, 2009. Known as the Genesis block, block number 0 had a reward of 50 BTC for the miners. Interestingly, it also carried a message referring to an article published in the Times. What is the miner's reward? There are two types of rewards that miners earn. The first is the fee for validating transactions, and the second is the reward for successfully adding a new block to the public ledger. To add a block, the miner needs to solve a cryptographic problem, and the first one to do so gets the so-called block reward. This is a fixed number of BTC. At the time of this writing, every block carries a reward of 6.25 BTC. The Bitcoin algorithm, however, is designed in a way where this reward is slashed in half every 210,000 blocks mined. It happens roughly once every 4 years, and this even is known as the Bitcoin halving. The last one was in May 2020. The next one should take place in 2024 and will reduce the reward miners get in half. How to buy Bitcoin? The simplest and easiest way to buy Bitcoin is online through a reliable exchange or a Bitcoin ATM. There are many of these located around the world. The leading cryptocurrency exchange using volume and users is Binance, and you can buy Bitcoin with a credit card on CryptoPotato via Binance, the largest crypto exchange by trading volume. Is it safe to send Bitcoin? A Bitcoin transaction is a digitally signed order, and it's securely encrypted. Once the transaction is signed by the outgoing wallet, it gets broadcast to the public ledger and the internet respectively, and gets listed on the Block Explorer where it's visible to anyone. What is the cost to send Bitcoin? The only cost associated with sending Bitcoin from one address to another is the transaction fee, which is added to each order and paid to the miner for his work. Remember, miners have to validate and verify the transaction and add it into a block. The higher the fee, the faster the transfer will be. To emphasize how cheap it is to send vast amounts in Bitcoin, this transaction of $101 million was sent only for $121 in fees, which is roughly 0.00001%. So guys, that's all for today's topic. See you soon in the next video.